Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I'm Commander Exorcist. Welcome to Talk O Tuesday. This is my weekly Elite Dangerous show where I pick a Galnet article, read it, talk about it, primarily from a lore perspective, but I will break the fourth wall if necessary. And we have a problem. We have a problem this week that we need to solve on this episode. And the problem is we don't have a Galnet article. We haven't had a Galnet article since March the 1st. And that's okay, because this has been one hell of a weekend in Elite Dangerous. I am still riding like an adrenaline high from what happened this weekend. And I'll tell you that it was an absolute honor to be there when the final pieces of the pineapple came apart on Taranis, and that ship started to melt down. We received a notice that it would be 24 hours approximately, which put it at about 1 p.m. my time. And so everything was on hold this weekend to see what happened to Taranis. And so I was there just a couple of kilometers away inside the cloud, inside the maelstrom. And as you can probably see the videos that I'm posted. Unfortunately, this is my third Taranis video. I mean, the thing is dead, but it's basically turned into a tyrant that has taken over my channel. I promise this is the last Taranis video, but that's all we've got at the moment. That's like the big thing, and it is the biggest thing. It's huge because the event itself was like, it was like being in a cutscene. That's the thing. Like, this is the kind of stuff you see in cutscenes, because we had the pulse wave that pushed everyone far, far away. And I thought about it because I was on the Gnosis when Frontier kind of lured us all in and then attacked us with the Thargoids, the promise to go into the Cone Sector all those years ago, and, you know, hit 22460 and how they massacred a bunch of people there. You know, I have my suspicions, and I'm very, very skeptical when Frontier tells us to all be in a certain part of the galaxy at a certain time, in a certain place. I don't trust that. And so I was a little skeptical this weekend. However, it paid off. What an amazing experience. I got to admit, when the little light show started around Taranis in the centerpiece where the pulse, where the repulsor beams used to be, my first thought was, they got us again. They're going to kill us again. We fell for it. You know, we had a chance to not fall for it, and we did again. So, but fortunately, the pulse wave pushed us away, and a few seconds later, Taranis exploded in this massive explosion. And like I said, this is the stuff of cutscenes, but this was happening to us in real time. And so it's one of those things where if you weren't there, you missed it. Which is why I'm glad that we're in the era of YouTube and being able to record and share these moments, because this is never going to happen again. Now, granted, there's going to be explosions and there's going to be similar events as the other maelstroms collapse, but the Taranis event was the first one, and we didn't know what to expect. We really didn't. Nobody, not even the partners, nobody was given any insight into what would happen. You know, where there was speculation that maybe the ship would just break apart and we'd be able to land on it and we'd be able to go in and maybe explore on foot. There was some people thought that it might regenerate itself and we'd have to start all over. That would be really evil if that was to happen. What we got was an amazing light show. And now we have a new caustic cloud that, according to what we've been able to ascertain from the social media posts, is that the caustic barrier that's keeping us out of the explosion range will dissipate. So it looks like we'll be able to salvage some stuff. So that'll be really cool. I'm excited about that. But you'll see on your screen, so this is my third Taranis video. It's my last one. But I did want to share, so you may have seen some of these images. If you follow me on Twitter, so before I did videos regularly, I actually got my start in Elite Dangerous doing photography. I still love photography, and I still do photography. I share it primarily on Twitter and some on my Instagram. But these are some shots that I took during the last 24 hours of Taranis. And so you can kind of see the progression. So for about 24 hours after the core was destroyed, it just kind of sat there and exploded. And there was some points where like the Thargoid interceptors would start leaving the system, and things just kind of calmed down. And, it was still dangerous. It was still dangerous to approach it. If you shot it, it would shoot back at you. And there were interceptors around, and there were scouts around, and there was all these things that did present, and there was an ever-present danger, but it was nothing like it used to be. And to be honest, and I was telling some folks in chat when we were kind of sitting around waiting on all this to go down, it was creepy. Like, the Titans are a scary event anyway. If you can get through the maelstrom and get into the area with the Titans, it's dangerous in there. There's basically everything wants you dead. But when all that's gone and you just have kind of the moaning and the roaring of this dying Thargoid mothership, and the interceptors, which for us for years as Elite Dangerous players, those things are huge, or at least we thought they were. They're dwarfed by this thing, and they're just kind of sitting there helpless. And it was a really creepy experience, sitting there waiting for the final event in the Taranis story. So, and ultimately we got one hell of an explosion. And Frontier, thank you very much, Frontier. They had a pulse wave that shot out from Taranis and pushed everything away to a safe distance. That's obviously a developer decision. Thank you guys, because we knew that you knew that people would be sitting around this thing. Frontier could have been really just evil and blown up the thing with all of us sitting there and game over. Your ship's been destroyed. But we all got pushed back, and I've got two videos right now up. I've got one which is the uncut version, which is straight from my game experience. It's got all the button pushing and me trying to figure out how to. I was so panicked I forgot how to turn back on my power distributor. And then when I turned on my frameshift drive, I didn't record my voice chat, but in my voice chat there were several of us that had problems getting our frameshift drive to turn back on. And if you watch the uncut video that I posted, you'll see the frameshift drive indicator as it's restarting is taking a very long time to get going. And so it was really weird. But once the explosion happened, it all kind of became apparent what was going on. It's like Frontier had pushed us away and disabled our ships to a certain point where we could not go back and be hurt by this thing. They wanted us to see it. And then the fact that it left a caustic cloud, if you watch both of my videos, the cut version with the music and like the last rave of Taranis, which is what it was called when I was drafting it, and then the uncut version, you'll see that my ship just gets eaten alive at the end because I was trying to go back into the thing. And that's really like all of us in chat were the same thing. Like, what do we do now? Well, I'm going back in. Like, I want to see what's left. Like, so what if it's a great giant fireball in space? I'm going back. Yeah, that didn't go over so well. Some of us died. My dolphin was already just beaten to pieces from everything, from the day's activities. So, and my heat sinks were low, or my caustic sinks were low. And so, and the caustic cloud that's around the Taranis site now eats through sinks so quickly, you're not getting into it. And so we have a theory that it will either start to dissipate or completely dissipate on the server tick on Thursday. So we don't know for sure. That's just kind of what we're thinking. I don't know. It may happen over time. It may happen instantly. I don't know. But I would look for something like that to happen with a server tick, because the system map still shows a Thargoid Titan in the system. So some of the server-side items for the game haven't updated properly to show that Taranis has been destroyed. So it was a fantastic day, and and it's one of those things where we're gonna go on to another topic sort of related to this, but I want to say one more thing about the Taranis event. You do not need a super engineered ship to get in. And now that we know what happens, you don't even need to get in if you don't want to. You can get in and see the massive umbrella of red and yellow and lights, and it's a wonderful experience if you can. But if you can't get into the Maelstrom, get to the Maelstrom, because all you need is a fast ship. You just need something that can go about 450 to 500 to outrun the interceptors. Once you get to the Maelstrom, just hang out and watch the show. This is one of the most amazing things you'll see in a video game to be a part of. And if you were by yourself playing like a single player game, a lot of us have played Call of Duty. We've blown things up. We've seen things explode. Battlefield 1 is one of my favorite FPSs of all times, and I've shot down plenty of Zeppelins, and I still think that's an amazing experience watching a Zeppelin crash down onto a set of housing and on the battlefield. But this was a massive event. This was something that was shared with, there were about 10,000 commanders listed in Anara when this went down. 10,000 commanders had passed through that system around the time that this happened. Dead game, right? So if you get a chance, at least go watch one of these things, because I think we got seven more to go. So it's gonna be a grind. It's gonna be a grind, but I think it's gonna be a fun one because it has one amazing result. Like I said, we didn't get a Galnet article, but we did get one piece from Frontier that I want to share. And so this is the reward. So what Frontier's done is they're giving out rewards for each Titan destroyed. And each Titan that you contribute to, you will get a different tier reward. And so the first reward for Taranis, they've given out to anyone who passed through that system within the time that they released Update 18, the 30 gigabyte torpedoes and stuff that they gave us. Apparently there was a lot more to it. So if you pass through that system, you're going to get these rewards. And so the first one is a Chieftain ship kit, which is really cool. They call it bleached bone. It's no surprise that the first ship kit comes for a Chieftain. Yes, it's not. Nobody should be surprised by that. And part of that is because I think that Frontier realized that the glaives were a serious issue, and whether the glaives were designed to work the way that they did, it seems to be they've acknowledged that there's some bugs in the way that the maelstroms, the Titans, the glaives, all that stuff was working together, and it seems like it really inhibited more people from participating than they wanted. And I hope that Frontier realized that when they removed the tech requirements and they relaxed some of the overwhelming requirements to get involved in this stuff, look at how many people became involved in it. Make it a little bit easier for folks. That's the key. It worked really well. So everyone who passed through that system between Update 18 and the time this thing melted down, you will get that ship kit, and you're going to get a cool little decal. I can't wait. That is going to be freaking awesome. So now going forward, there are some rules and some requirements. Not everyone's going to get the free stuff. You get the stuff if you participate in taking down the hearts and taking down the core of the Titans. And so the more Titans that you help take down, the more you contribute, the more your rewards are going to be. You get arcs, you get more decals. You're actually, from what I can understand, your decal is incremented, which I'm assuming means they add stars to it to show how many Titans that you've taken down. And there will be other ship kits that can only be achieved or earned through contributing. And so let's go forward here real quick because there's one. So this was posted today on the Frontier forums, but they also posted, so to be eligible for the incremental Titan stuff, you have to damage the heat core, all right? But you have to do it within 1 week of the Titan melting down. Now, that may seem like kind of an arbitrary timeline. It is, but it may seem a little difficult, but it's really not, because I think that when we get to the point where we're in a rhythm and we're bringing these things down, it's going to get to the point where like, oh, we're down to 9%, we're down to 5%. You're going to know when it's time. If you're somebody that's not big into AX combat, but you can do it and you want to participate, you're going to know when it's within a week or so of these Titans coming down. So you have to do damage to the heat core, okay? And you have to earn 2 million credits from damaging the heat core. And really, you earn more credits as it gets toward the end. It's a little bit easier to earn credits because the Titan is damaged so much and its resistance is down because of it's not like Taranis really wasn't controlling any systems, so it had no external support. It was just a sitting duck, a sitting goid. So yeah. So if you want the extra ship kits and you want the incremental decals, You have to do damage to the Titan within a week of it going meltdown, and you have to do at least 2 million credits worth of damage to the core. Now, from what I understand, what I've heard, what I've seen, that's only about 1 or 2 runs in to do some damage on the core. So it shouldn't be too difficult if you can get in a wing with somebody, or in that case, it shouldn't take much to be able to go in there, fire a couple of shots, do some damage, do your part for humanity. All right, everybody. Hey, I'm not going to belabor the point. Taranis is dead. It is a glorious, glorious day, glorious week for humanity and for Elite Dangerous. And these disciples make this channel possible. If you would like to join us, patreon.com/Commander Exorcist. You get access to behind-the-scenes stuff, special videos that don't end up here on the main channel. That's right, secret stuff. And you get early access to some of the projects that I'm working on here. So love to have you there. Like I said, patreon.com/Commander Exorcist. And that is it for Taco Tuesday. We didn't have a Galnet article, but we didn't need one because we are celebrating. We are celebrating our first major victory of this war. And congratulations to the AX pilots, to the people that have sacrificed hundreds and hundreds of hours and resources beating the crap out of this thing and putting on one hell of a show for us. You guys are absolute heroes. The AX community should be freaking proud of themselves. The whole Elite Dangerous community should be proud of themselves. Look at what we can do when we work together. It's absolutely worth it. It's doable. And I don't know. I'd say there's a silver lining for humanity. Seems like we might have a chance of surviving after all. Hey, everybody, if you like this kind of content, I do these weekly shows. I also do weekly releases of other stuff here on the channel. Give me a like and subscribe. Click the little, there's like a bell or something down, is it down there somewhere? Yeah, click that button, and I'd love to have you leave a comment. Were you there? Did you see it? Did you experience it? Or is it on your list? At this point, if you're an Elite Dangerous commander, you should either have experienced it or have it on your list. Only 7 more chances to go. Hey, everybody, I'm Commander Exorcist. Take care, fly safe, and I will see you out there. Good night, everybody.